Yeah, it did in the Middle East. Hang on. There we go. There we go. I had to roll the intro manually, but we did it. Welcome to Rock Players. It's another Thursday, and we have a lovely crew here today. Welcome to SPG.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Played some
Awesome.
A Way Out today, which,
Awesome.
yeah, you said that you've enjoyed that game before. So Lo-Fi and I plan on playing all the way through it, and I know that you have to have two people to play. So
Yes, and you should play
yeah,
the whole. Yeah, definitely play the whole thing, the whole game through. Let's talk more about the game about that game in a minute, because there's so much I want to talk about it about that game. But also welcome Matthias, Ally Gaming. How are you doing, Mister? You have a special middle name.
Yeah, yeah, I have a few, but yeah, I did a stand-up, stand-up debut a week ago, and I had this joke about my name. So I have this name, Megatron, that was added by a friend accidentally. So I got the name. Do you want to see my passport so you know that I'm not lying?
Yeah, like this is legally Matthias' middle name is Megatron.
Yeah,
One of very few in the world, I think, with that legal name.
yeah.
Uh,
I can't have it because it's registered to Hasbro. So I
oh,
think
you're
it's
not allowed
pretty.
to.
Yeah, I can't name myself Megatron on Facebook. It's copyrighted, so it's pretty awesome to be named by a toy.
Awesome. And welcome, Netflix Gamer. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Just getting over a sickness, but besides that, pretty good. A little bit annoyed because we went to go live, and then two games were announced with Netflix games. One actually came out today, so I'm a little bit annoyed with that. But obviously,
Don't worry, we'll
I
add them
will
to
go.
the list.
I'll go to Reed Hastings' house tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
No worry. Good thing that they were announced before or during the show and not after, because that happens a lot. Like, there's many times where like we'll finish the show and then I'll know it's like, oh, that thing just broke. Huh. That would have been good to cover. But yeah, welcome. Nice to have you on. Welcome to the show. And Ray, welcome to you as well. How you doing, man?
Hey, good to be back here on Rock Players with this awesome panel. Good to be here.
Awesome to have you, man. And welcome, Pierre-Luc, Ninja Gay X.
Oh,
Welcome. I remembered.
wow. You took me off guard. Yeah. Man, what an amazing panel. I'm happy to be here seeing Matthias, Ethan, SPG, and Ray. And Bjorn, of
Yeah.
course, is going to be awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, nice to have you back, man.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
having you on.
Yeah,
Welcome. How's non-creator life treating you, man?
you. It's good. I've been streaming a little bit.
Yeah, I see you sneak in there every now
Yeah,
and then.
yeah, yeah. I
You
enjoy
can't
it.
ever you can never take the creator out of creation
Oh
out of the
no.
creator. Like you
Yeah.
can't.
uh, Ninja, I have to ask you a question. Since you put it on a hiatus, do you feel like when you don't have the demands, is it more like now you're like you want to go back slowly and
Yeah, so basically, when I stopped, I basically had to stop because I felt like I was like going in a burnout, and it took me like almost like 4 weeks to recover. It was crazy, and now that I'm feeling better, like I want to go back. Like I really miss it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stream, when I feel like it, and never gonna be probably planning out, weekly kind of like podcasts or anything like that, because I think that's what was making it, bad for me. And
yeah?
so yeah, I'll probably do some planned stream once in a while. I am doing them once in a while now, and you know, just to be more serious. But yeah, this is how it is. When work is busy, work has been very busy for the last 2 years, and implementing streaming on top of that. Just I don't know. My body has a hard time.
Yeah,
Taking
I
care of it.
mean,
Yeah.
mental health is one of those things that can very quickly
Yeah.
get in the way of things. So yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, I think you made the right decision. It's
You
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
definitely did.
Yeah, if I ever change job, or if it ever gets less busy at work or something like that, I'll definitely reconsider going back full time on content creation for sure because it's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I think that's why we'll do it. And I think if you don't do it because it's fun, then you're never gonna make it long term.
Exactly.
So it has to be
It's
something you do for fun.
it's a poison. You want to do it, and you want to do it so much, and then
Yeah.
it becomes like demands and everything. And
Yeah.
I've been in the same position. I had a super rough year and had the tempo up, and I had to take a forced break. And now
Yeah.
I feel exactly what you feel.
Yeah, it's rough, the pressure, and I know that your channel, like especially that you ran into some high in popularity. I can imagine how worse it could be for you because at some point you almost have like no choice, right, to continue and
Yeah,
all that. So good on you on taking that break and recovering that. So happy to hear that.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, awesome. But let's before we dive into the like more news and discussion things, SPG, you mentioned A Way Out, and I mean, as a Swede who's proud of the things that we have going on here in the Swedish video game industry, I have to I have to talk about the Hazelight and Josef Fares whenever that happens. So, I mean, one thing that because I've played A Way Out, I have not yet played It Takes Two. It's on my to do list. I'm gonna play it with my wife as soon as she has a bit more time on her hands.
One question: did you play? Is it called Brothers?
Yeah, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
so good.
Yeah,
Such a one of the most emotional experiences I've had in a game up until like this year.
yeah.
Baldur's Gate has and Stray Gods have brought some like up to that level as well. But like it was one of the first that really caught me off guard with how emotional video games can be. Um, yeah. So I mean, Hazelight is amazing, and like Josef Fares, who's the head of the studio, he's a character. Let's just put it that way. I mean, he's known for being the fuck the Oscars guy around the internet, but he comes from a background of like 20 years of making films. He's been Oscar nominated, and I mean, then switching over to making video games. And I think when they did A Way Out, I saw an interview with him in from Swedish TV where he was saying that the reason he did it was because he sat down with a friend who I think was Victor Leonhufvud, who's also a like
I think so too. Yeah,
prolific person in Sweden. But it was
journalist.
journalist, and they sat down like we want to play a co-op game together, but we don't want just a co-op mode. We want a meaningful story and a meaningful game with this that's co-op, that designed for specific co-op, and there was none, so he made it.
Yeah.
And I think he's found a niche that is really 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 good. But one thing that I love about them is they do things that normally you think game studios don't do. Like there's one sequence that you haven't gone to yet, SPG, but where they basically designed
In
a
A Way
whole
Out.
new game. Yeah, designed a whole new game just for a scene that is a like it's a small part of a one take scene that's like maybe 5 minutes long. Like it's like 1 or 2 minutes of that scene. They spent like 3 months building basically a completely new game for that
Wow.
sequence. Or when or talking about the music in It Takes Two, that game is like 15 hours long. They wrote 16 hours of music. In generally, you make like 6 hours of music for an open world game that will take 100 hours to complete. Like that's the level of insanity that this studio is working at.
And I have to talk about It Takes Two. If who played it? Did anyone
Not
of
yet.
play it?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing, right? It's like a Pixar movie, and it's like they test new game mechanics in every level.
Yeah, I
It's
was surprised by the length of the game given how much variety it gives throughout the whole thing. You think like, oh yeah, two player co-op, it has a lot of mechanics. That's not going to be a long game, right? But the length is perfect. Like it's really good.
isn't that coming out as a movie or a TV series, by the way?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I've also seen that.
Talking about going full circle.
Yeah, full circle for Europe. Yeah, very much so. But yeah, so and also like this was released in 2021. It wouldn't surprise me because the Game Awards is coming up, and he has a history to be good on good terms
Jeff.
with Jeff Keighley, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get a sequel, like their next game announced at the Game Awards, maybe coming in 1 or 2 years. That would be not.
That yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. I mean, he's done three games, I think: Brothers, A Way Out, and It Takes Two,
So
and all of these has been absolute winners. And It Takes Two won Game of the Year, right?
Yeah, Game of the Year
So I mean,
2021.
yeah, he's super highly respected, and that would be the best news ever,
Isn't it?
man.
I heard rumors they're showing the GTA video or trailer or something at the awards.
I mean, it matches. So yeah, let's just go into that because Rockstar tweeted out basically an announcement that next month marks the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. So they will are announcing that with to celebrate that, they will be in early December releasing the first trailer to the next Grand Theft Auto, and early December is incidentally also when the Game Awards happens. It's December 7th, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So yeah, most likely at over there.
Do you think? I mean, the Game Awards, it's politics, right? That's
Yeah,
like the Olympics for games. But do you think Jeff has to pay to get those there? What do you think?
I
Or
think it's
are
I mean, on one hand, maybe sometimes, but on the other hand, it is one of the biggest platforms to announce and advertise your game. So I can also see it going being like a quid pro quo thing. Like we'll bring our massive game, and you give us a platform to show it off on.
yeah, yeah,
so Ray and SPG, I know that you guys really love, community games, right? Like you guys played the heck out of Red Dead Redemption and a lot of Ubisoft titles. I'm surprised that you guys never really did. You guys ever had like GTA 5 stream? Because this is a very big community game, right? Like the online. So, are you guys like excited about GTA 6? Or
You
I'm
know,
curious.
I think with me, because I watched my all the money that I spent on the Game Sharks for
Yeah.
my for
The
my
shark cards.
kid, the
Yeah.
shark cards, it's kind of put a bitter like that in Fortnite, the V Bucks. I mean, I've spent like hundreds of dollars, so I'm be honest, a little bitter towards it, but I know he's excited. He's like, Dad, they're gonna show the trailer. They're gonna show the trailer. But I'm just like, the game's been around since 2013, so I'm kind of like,
The
yeah,
only game I think, or maybe not the only, but one of very few games released on three different console generations.
Yeah, look, this concerns me a little bit. I mean, Rockstar's a phenomenal country, or they're a
Com-
phenomenal.
company, country,
I
it's
can't even
anything.
talk. Company,
same
and they
thing.
make phenomenal products. Their IPs are amazing. Red Dead Redemption 2, he just mentioned, is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. But did the money ruin them? I don't know. I'm interested to find out. And what I mean by that is Grand Theft Auto
Well,
5 has been sold to us multiple times over. They've made $8 billion off of one title. They haven't really done anything lately that is with their
don't need to.
remakes or their
Yeah,
re-releases.
yeah, yeah.
I'm muted.
No, I
No,
muted him.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Uh,
but so like I'm wondering if the money has done anything to their studio. Supposedly they've spent $2 billion on Rockstar on this
Yeah,
next iteration of
this
GTA,
this is
and
this has been
I love GTA 5. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the online section where you basically have to spend money to get away from hackers and other exploiters and stuff, not interested in that at all. I coming from Stadia.
yeah.
Adored Red Dead Redemption 2 on Stadia.
and that
Adored it.
and
Whenever I
and
brought
that's
it up, I said
me.
no cheaters. I said
It
I love
sounds
it.
it sounds crazy, but I'm more of a Red Dead Redemption 2 fan than am of a
For sure.
GTA fan. So, and that's just me.
But I knew that the cheating is really bad and
yeah.
griefers are really bad. And so I never got into GTA 5 online. I really enjoyed the main story, switching between the three guys and stuff and seeing how it all played out. Uh, so I'll definitely play 6. But what are they going to focus on is what kind of
My
concerns me.
it's
Are
Yeah.
they
it's
going to focus
Miami. It's
all of the.
Miami.
I mean, no, no, no. What I
It's
mean is,
Miami.
are they going to give you a quality experience no matter what, or are they going to focus on the way to monetize it online and give you something in that sphere.
I, I,
They're going
I,
to do both. I know they will, but how
Yeah, they have
much
the money to do both.
yeah,
influence? I
I,
mean,
I, I'm thinking like
Would
this.
now be a bad time to say I prefer Saints Row.
No, no, go ahead. Uh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking.
Who me or who?
I can make a quick one. The game industry has changed since 2013, like with CD Projekt Red, investors,
Yeah,
etc., etc. I mean, it's more important than ever for these huge companies to earn money and all of that. I mean, we saw now Warner Bros. Saying that they want to focus more on live service titles, so it's more important than ever to have the revenue than it was back in 2013.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, as SPG says, I believe that the main thing will be this has to be a cash machine. It has to be, one of those slot machines.
yeah, I
It
mean,
has to be.
if
I
they spent
mean,
$2 billion,
Yeah.
holy crap,
yeah.
they got to make.
Ethan,
Do
go
you guys
ahead.
want to know something scary? Okay, I was something scary about GTA 5. That came out half my life ago.
Ah,
Yeah,
And
it
I,
is.
I prefer Saints Row. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it
literally,
puts
when
a
that first
perspective
came
on
out, I was
things.
10 years
Yeah,
old, still played it. But now it's sort of like I'm looking at. It's weird to admit, but I prefer Saint San Andreas. Yeah, and then obviously, I always preferred Saints Row because to me, GTA Online just felt like it feels like a Saints Row game now, where it's like supposed to have all these wacky tech weapons and vehicles and that. It's just like, yeah, but I'd rather have Saints Row where I can play it offline because GTA Online is just full of cheaters, hackers, and people that just fly around with a flying motorbike blowing you up.
Yep. I don't know how many times I've warped into Red Dead Redemption 2 just to do something for a minute or to capture some footage, and I'm immediately like transported like into a big ball of horses that explode. or Ray, my buddy, jumps in and he walks into camp as a wagon, and you're like, "What? What is going
yeah.
on here?" Yeah, it's
We,
not
we,
fun.
we, we have to remember that what they are building is probably the biggest ecosystem ever. Like Destiny 2 is an ecosystem. We have Red Dead Redemption 2, that's an ecosystem. GTA 5 was a huge ecosystem where people live in the game. And this
yeah.
will probably be the biggest one ever.
I think the
So,
problem for them is that because I mean, if you look at how
It,
Red Dead Redemption 2 did and was received, it was received really well. People love the single player aspect of it. The multiplayer had some fans and very little love from the developers, probably because it didn't make very much money for them.
Exactly, but you
So
know
they
what?
just give it up. So like if GTA
It's
6 comes out and the online part doesn't make a lot of money because people don't want to switch over from GTA 5, they will move on so fast.
Well, here's the issue. Here's the issue with that. They made Red Dead Redemption 2 fun. People would rather grind out for that gold than to give them any money. Now, I mean, that's
yeah.
good for us in a sense, but it wasn't good for them, which made them not invest in it at all.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I can
gone.
see that causing GTA 6 to be worse. To full disclosure, though, I've never been a fan of GTA or Red. Like I've tried GTA several times, tried Red Dead several times, and I cannot get into any of them. I don't think the gameplay and the mechanics are fun.
Wow.
I, I,
Well,
I,
But
I
that's just
have
me.
to,
well,
I
do
have
you guys
to,
want something that puts it into perspective?
right.
I'm with Bjorn there. I played the Red Dead Redemption 2 for an hour or two, and it was just transport. I know that it's a fantastic game. GTA 5 I played for a few hours, but I can't get into it. I just can't. But I never played GTA Online, so maybe it's or RP or something would probably be more fun.
I think the best story I've seen from GTA was when a Swedish games journalist I think in GTA 3 or 4 or maybe 4.
Victor,
Uh, it might have been Victor, tried to wrote an article like, can I spend a full week in game as a civilian, not breaking the law?
ah,
And it was surprising, like one of the funniest articles I've read ever. Like it was because it was apparently very hard. Like just things like he had to drive on the right side of the road and not speed and not not cross red, and NPC cars would drive into him from behind because he stopped at a traffic light and they didn't. Uh, like things like that, or like he would try to go walk to work and then would have people hit on him randomly. Like, what? No, like I'm trying to get to work. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I know Victor Linnaeus did the role playing part, and it was just crazy. The character he invented, it was just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those games where you can have a lot of fun if you make it a lot of fun. Like you gotta make it fun for yourself, and if you do, then it can be one of the best things ever. But if you just do what the game throws at you, it's not gonna be that fun.
Yeah.
See, I think there's another reason why they're announcing GTA or showing GTA 6 so soon as well, and I think it actually comes down to. So I'm not sure any of you guys looked into it, but Rockstar's parent company Take Two have reported that within the next physical year they expect to lose over $900 million.
Yeah,
So
and
I
they've already
assume
lost
they're trying to announce GTA
540.
6 to try and tell
Yeah,
people like, hey, it's
they've
coming.
lost
It's like
543
yeah,
this
it's
quarter.
547
Okay.
or something.
Lost or spent? I guess I don't understand what we're discussing.
Yeah, so it's clear that GTA 6.
Yeah, it's
People are
a.
hyped about it, say, hey,
I
GTA
mean,
6
I
is
mean,
coming, GTA 6 is coming, and
they've spent that much money, but they
well-
haven't earned nearly as much. So yeah, I mean, they've
Well,
invested it in a sense,
Normally
but
they don't. Normally they don't tease or release anything unless it's a year out, right? At least a year out, or am I wrong?
6 months I've heard is the golden, like at least that's what Ubisoft said when they announced that they were gonna stop doing it that way.
No, I
they
mean
said
the standard for Rockstar. What are they?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know
the.
the. I don't know the standard for Rockstar, but like what Ubisoft said was announcing it 6 months in advance is the golden. Like that's when you get it. That's the like perfect moment because you have the perfect amount of time to build up the hype before it starts dying down. Any longer than 6 months, and you will start losing momentum towards the end, and you have
Let's
to do
be
a second
honest,
push.
man. This game is gonna print money.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and you know that
It's gonna.
if they show it in December, it's already finished because they can't do a Cyberpunk to show it and say that it will be released in June, and then they will say we need to push it back for a year because people will go ballistic. They will start whining,
Yeah.
like
That's gonna happen anyway.
yeah. But I think it's basically finished
Yeah,
if they show it.
if you compare it to GTA 5, I remember when they start showing gameplay, like it
Yeah.
didn't took too long for it to release afterwards. I don't remember how long, but
Yeah.
if they have the same plan, then I can
I
imagine
mean,
that.
I think it will be a cinematic release, cinematic trailer now and then. Towards, the Summer Game Fest, it will be a gameplay trailer and then releasing in like October.
I just
Yeah.
hope they get back to realistic world building like they did in Red Dead. I think the atmosphere, the graphics, just everything that they poured into that to make it seem alive. I hope they do that with this new city or
Yeah.
the city that they're giving us. I really do. I hope they do.
The
Because if they
city
do
they're
that and you can
giving
run
is
around with a
Miami.
bat or steal a car, it's
So-
over. That's going to be so fun, dude. That's going to be
The,
so
Just-
fun.
the
just-
city is Miami, Florida. Is the city? that
Miami,
they're
Florida?
giving us. Miami.
So you think we'll get Cuba too then?
Very possible.
DLC.
Very possible.
Hey, now, if you're going to mention DLC, you can't forget that 5 got none.
True.
They got online stuff, but they got no DLC.
Just think about how entitled people will be. They will be like, my year is destroyed because this got pushed back. I got nothing to do now. They will be so entitled if they show it in December and say that they're going to release it in October.
Yeah. But speaking of live service games, as you mentioned, Warner Brothers announced that they will expand their game IPs to live service and free to play, and that will be the focus
Oh,
for the
wait,
company
no.
going forward.
I thought
Yeah.
you were doing a different article.
No.
My bad.
So apparently, yeah, I mean, while the gaming world is screaming, "Please stop doing live service,"
Yeah, please stop.
please stop. And then what Warner Brothers' response to that is, "Oh, you mean we should do more of that? Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that."
I mean, a live service game sounds compelling, man. Hey, a game that never ends. You'll always have new content to go.
Yeah,
and experience,
exactly.
or- It
and
doesn't end
me,
up that way. It doesn't end up
yeah,
that way at
exactly.
all.
And meanwhile, Sony is delaying 6 of its upcoming live service games because it's
Oh
but
god.
due to quality concerns.
They have 12,
Yeah,
Well,
so
so half of them.
yeah,
the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, whatever that game that's coming out. That's not going to do too well. It doesn't look
yeah.
like
I think a live service game
another live service game.
might do well is this one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that looks pretty good. I haven't get
Oh,
a
the
chance to
finals?
play it yet, but
I played it.
yeah.
Yeah, I played it the first test
Yeah,
like
same here.
summer, right? It was in June or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's a nice experience. It felt
yeah. I mean, it is very nice. It's like basically like a game show, where the game show is essentially
like
like an
the
arena
Running
shooter.
Man, like the Running Man, sort of.
Yeah, it's like collect money either by there will be like drops on the map with cash drops, so you can go and pick up and take to a collection point, and then when you do that, it's announced to everyone else where you are, and then people will come and the other two teams will come and try to take it from you, and then you do that a couple of times, and then the match is over, and it is really fun and over the top. And like when you die, you like disintegrate into a bunch of coins. And which means also the opponent can pick up those a bit of coins as well, and then cash that in. So yeah, it's a really good. Like the winner is the one with the most coins cashed in at the end of the round as well. So it doesn't really matter if you kill have a kill death ratio of like 10-1. Doesn't matter if you didn't score any coins, then that whatever.
It's a perfect game mechanic because it's basically like the arena shooter. I mean, if you look at Quake or Unreal, like aliens came from space, and now you have to be the. I mean, that's just silly. But the finals, that's sort of like a legit idea
Yeah, and
that
I
it could
think
show.
And I mean, I think and that also makes it fun to watch because you're essentially playing a show, and then
Yeah,
therefore
that's
watching
what I
that
mean.
show is also fun. So it's a great idea, and I think as of like 7.5 million players in an open beta, it's pretty damn well
I
done
was
for a PC only game.
I was
Uh,
watching Twitch streams. I didn't play it, but I did go to some Twitch streams to watch it. It looked very fast paced and exciting. So I hope it does well. Hope it does
Yeah.
well.
it's my old boss that made it,
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh, right. Yeah, Patrick
Söderlund. Yeah,
Sutherland, yeah, the ex EA boss and Dice boss.
yeah. He was at Dice when I was there back in 20 years ago, and then he went to EA, and I think he was at EA Sports or something.
He did. I think he became the like the
Vice.
creative like the highest like the highest one below the CEO on EA
Yeah,
for like 10 years or something.
yeah.
But yeah,
And
he's
then he started Embark, and I'm looking forward to Arc Raiders.
yeah, their other game as well. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think and they have a third game in development as well that they haven't announced. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing what they do on the tech side because they are like quite cutting edge on the tech side.
their AI is
Yeah,
amazing.
their use of AI voices in the finals beta wasn't wasn't very appreciated by the game development community. It seems like, but which is fair enough. I
Yeah.
think they like
Well,
I
AI is
think they
coming
took.
for all sorts of jobs. So
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
buckle
they're
up.
using AI
Buckle
to
up.
do like photogrammetry, like taking a job that would take someone 3 to 5 days to do manually. They now do in 15 minutes using AI. So
Yeah.
that's what this company is, setting out to. They're trying to be like, how can we make a AAA game that looks like it was made by 600 people, but it was using like 100 people?
Well,
That's
this
the
Just
goal.
one guy,
this isn't
Patrick
talked
Söderlund
about.
himself.
This isn't talked about much, but in Cyberpunk, one of the main characters or one of the main side characters had died, and they ended up using AI to recreate his voice for a few more dialogues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as long as
Victor-
that's done with permission of the,
No, correct. Yeah. No,
then
they
I'm
didn't do
perfectly
any-
fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't do nothing on the sly, but it's just they could recreate that guy's voice like he was sitting in the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be an issue
I
for the industry and for many other industries. It's going to be an
I
issue.
I do that for videos. I mean, we did Owen Wilson. It takes 30 seconds to do a clone.
Yeah, you have a clip of Owen Wilson announcing Rock Players, I think.
Yeah.
Hey,
And Ryan Reynolds and
I
stuff.
the new Beatles song that I've been playing and I've watched the video. I mean, they had to kind of enhance John Lennon's voice on the song. I think it's now and then, and good. I mean, there's like I said, there's good with AI if it's done correctly and used
Well,
properly.
not only
Yeah,
has the laws not caught up for entertainment purposes and other things, but it hasn't caught up with the law either yet. I mean, it used to
Yeah,
be,
no.
bring in the video, show me proof. Well, is that
yeah.
video real? Like,
Uh,
I didn't say that. Well, you're on tape saying it. Like,
Well, yeah, that's a deep fake. That's what.
wha- one
everything could be a
thing,
deep fake now. It
uh,
wasn't me.
people are really scared about AI taking their jobs, but no one is talking about being like a prompt designer or AI tech. I mean, if you start studying these tools like Stable Diffusion, ChatGPT, etc., you will have a job forever because
Correct. But
Exactly.
the issue is this though. You can get trucks to drive themselves and you just need one person per every 50 trucks to repair it.
yeah,
That still gets rid of a hell of a lot of jobs though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and it's like the whole AI discussion, and that's a rabbit hole we could either go into it today, or we could save it for another rainy day.
oh, it's just interesting.
But yeah, like
yeah,
it's like the biggest issue is like, yes, there's always gonna pop up new jobs that weren't possible before or weren't even a thing before. Like, I mean, 20 years ago, being a content creator was not a thing, but
Well,
now it
yeah.
is.
Or
But I think
or
the biggest issue is the new
Happy
jobs that pop
Cloud.
out is usually for other people, or like other backgrounds in other locations than the people losing their jobs. That's the biggest
yeah,
issue.
Well,
look at
here's
the
the thing.
car industry.
Happy Cloud Gamers got an awesome comment because I have seen people plugging in these AI plugins for Skyrim and other games to where the NPCs have access to like Chat GPT or
Yeah,
whatever, and it just like and it's got audio and it's got a decent voice and it feels like you're talking to a person. I mean, the illusion can break down, of course, because it's not perfect yet, but
Yeah,
they're
like
gonna they're gonna
there's
want to implement this into
yeah.
games going forward.
Yeah, and
That's
then,
the
I
way
mean,
they
they can
are.
feed the ChatGPT can be fed the current game state as well, and like
yeah,
the
yeah,
events of the
yeah.
world. So there are mods where you can sit down around, at an inn in Whiterun and talk to Lydia about the events of the world, and she will talk back to you in her actual
Well,
voice.
And
It will
it
sound
would
a bit
and
just be
off, but
crazy,
it is
man,
can,
possible, and that's
if you
can
were
you
modders.
playing
can
like
you ask?
Cyberpunk in VR and you sit down at the bar and you start talking shit to yourself or whatever, and then the bartender starts commenting on what you're saying. Like
Can can you
that's
talk to an NPC and say
so
that
immersive.
in the real world, when does my pizzeria close and stuff like
Listen,
that?
you can literally
Probably like if
put them in an existential crisis. You can discuss that they're in a video game.
Yeah,
Like
I
yeah, I've seen
mean,
that.
there are games that do that without AI though.
I know, I know.
Baldur's Gate 3, for example. Have you seen that clip?
Yeah, no,
Have you,
I haven't.
uh,
I haven't seen that one, but
there is a scene where Karlach gets very existential and talks to the
oh
player.
Yeah, yeah,
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
when he
it's an
sees the fourth wall
insane
pretty.
scene.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been spoiled on that. It's like I saw the clip on TikTok. I was like, "What is this?" And sat glued to it. Like, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just that is going to revolutionize stuff, but then it's also going to stop a bunch of script writing. It's going to it's going to affect a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
It
But I
really
mean,
is.
listen to this. Like when the car industry, there was so much talk about the robots coming to the factories, and everybody was like, "We're out of jobs." But I mean, some of them became alcoholics. Some of them started doing other stuff. I mean, life will find a way. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure of
Yeah,
that.
People
I,
gotta
I
adapt. It's human
Yeah,
Detroit,
nature.
yeah, I
Detroit
mean,
kind of did.
yeah,
I mean, people laughed at the Wright brothers. People laughed at steam engines. You have to embrace the
yeah,
future. It's coming. You got to
yeah.
embrace it. It is what it is.
I'm
yeah.
Well,
I'm so
I
happy
may
about these
be.
tools. I love them.
Well, I might be a crazy person, but I would love to have a vehicle that I never had to drive, didn't
Oh
have to
yeah.
worry about anybody else driving. We could all be facing each other, so it's like an actual event or a hangout rather than
I
a,
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
know,
mean, my
yeah,
SUV. My wife. Why are you looking back to back up and you have a freaking
a camera.
screen, a
Yeah,
camera, and
yeah.
I'm just, I mean, like I said, right, you're right, you're right. I have to learn to adapt,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
need to learn to adapt.
Yeah.
yeah,
What I'm thinking is I hope that someday AI takes all the jobs, so nobody has to work. Like that'd be
Yeah, I
that'd be
mean,
perfect.
technically, we are in a like humanity as a human society is at a place where, for the first time in humanity's history, not everyone needs to work for life to be sustainable. We are society is not there, but like humanity is at a point where not everyone needs to, which is an
But
interesting
but
philosophical
but Bjorn,
thing.
Yeah.
you wouldn't get citizen pay because then the people that controls the AI, etc., they would make sure that the money comes to them.
The
I
problem
mean,
for though,
Universal at this point, universal basic income may sound like a far off fantasy, but
it's inevitable. It is
let AI
inevitable.
take everything and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll
The thing,
probably well,
yeah, I think I don't remember who said it, but there's this one quote about like how the end goal for capitalism is socialism because you can't
no.
have ultimate capitalism because without like eventually you get to a point where only the richest of the rich have money to spend, meaning that no one spends money on the things they make, meaning
Well,
they don't get any more money, and then everything collapses, and then we're
we're
down to like
we're
they've
there
been
already,
really
Bjorn, in Sweden.
yeah, we're the all over the world we're there.
well, they have been
Yeah.
really, really, really good at privatizing the gains and socializing the losses.
Yeah,
They've
Yeah,
become
for now,
masters
but eventually that
for
will.
now. For now.
yeah.
And apparently in Norway there are buses with robot-driven with AI drivers, which is cool. I didn't know you had that over there.
That is
Now I kind
cool.
of want to go to Norway and try that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of
Can,
AI,
can,
in
can,
World and Xbox has also announced this whole thing.
I
Oh,
was
go ahead.
just
Go ahead,
wondering
Matthias.
about. I was just wondering about existential crisis for the buses. If you can f with them. Sorry, Bjorn.
You probably can. So Xbox has announced.
I'm never going to Norway then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
Xbox
wonder
has
what your
announced.
persuasion skill has to be to get him to make a wrong turn. You know what I mean?
Probably pretty good. So Xbox and in-world AI has announced a
Oh, I'll
partnership
persuade drive to Max's house.
where they will be looking at adding, generative AI and procedural generation into and large language models like ChatGPT into the tools that are being used to make games. So Xbox and Microsoft and this company is partnering together to try to bring empower game creation with AI. And like the nerd in me is so interested to see where this goes. I think for some like some things this will be opening doors that previously was possible, but it will also it also happens at a bad time in the industry when people are being laid off left and right, and there's a lot of discourse around AI due to that, which is understandable but inevitable. Yeah, it's
I'm
interesting.
pretty sure that you can start your company. You don't need writers. You don't need script editors, etc. You can basically just use a simple tool set to get the whole story and dialogue scripts, etc. generated.
Well, I'm not even
Um,
worried about it generating all that stuff. What I like the concerning part is it's going to take away a lot of effort, and what I mean by that is it's much like I'm a DM, a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm very used to and familiar of taking a module and making it my own. You
yeah.
know, so it's got like characters, it's got all this stuff that you need, and you can do the story beat for beat for beat for beat, or you can institute your own stuff. And I think that what it does is it makes it super easy to have Chat GPT or whatever crap out a story that then you can chop up and change and slightly change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And make it
and
your
I mean
own.
also I think like earlier this year, I think during the summer there was an announcement that Ubisoft had this tool that they were building internally and or testing out internally, where they were essentially having AI write all of the those lines in a game that that takes a lot of time for the writers to write, but they're generally like no one really cares about, like the reloading and like over there, like those grunts that happen. they just had an AI write like train an AI on those and just write a bunch of them. And
Yeah.
and the writers at
Well,
Ubisoft really enjoyed having that tool available to them.
well, I think they just
Yeah.
companies need to be careful because more isn't necessarily better.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
You know,
and I mean, it's all down to how you use. Like AI is at the end of
or
the day a
procedural
tool.
generation.
Yeah, or
Or
procedural generation. Like,
please, like use it as a
at,
tool,
yeah, it's a tool. That's the
a
thing. It's a tool.
tool,
At the end of the day, it is a tool to be
not a
used.
crutch.
Not a replacement.
I
Like you
Yes.
like
can't
what
replace.
I like what you guys say because this is exactly it. Like this is what AI is. A lot of people think, oh, it's replacing job and that, but not really. It's just improving the current job that we're having. At work, I decided to use an application called Copilot, and it's a AI generated intelligent system that helps me like that tries to guess what I'm going to be writing. So it
Hmm.
takes it, it saves me some time in writing some codes that I'm trying to. Right now, it's not really useful. Like I want to try it and I want to see if it's worth it for my company. But so far, it's maybe it's not there yet. But anyway, but this is what AI is for. It's just for improving
Yeah, and I mean,
your
I use AI quite
applications.
regularly at work, at my in my job position because I need to write a lot of scripting and
Yeah.
with for SQL and PowerShell, and I'm not really that good at it, but I'm good enough to be able to look at a script and say like,
They
ah, that part doesn't work. Like I need to
Well,
take this
Yeah.
part and that
who
part
they
doesn't
and
want
they
to
change them around.
generate four
really
paragraphs of a generic statement with the click of a
Right.
button? That is useful stuff. It really is. It
Bjorn's
really is.
managers believe he's one of the best coders they have,
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
right?
No, no, I'm quite
They
open with the
they
fact that I'm
will
using
make
AI.
So, but maybe
Uh,
that's my problem. Maybe because I'm a senior developer. I've been coding for 10 years. I feel like the AI is not like always like it's never not doing what I want it to do. But I think
Yeah,
it
and I
never
think it's like
stops
it's
starting.
never gonna do, but it also like even for you, like the AI is never gonna be for anyone. Be you can not really say, or I'm not gonna say never because eventually it will, but like, at least where it is right now and will be for the next couple of years, it's not at a point where you can tell it to, I need this, and you get that and it's ready to use. But
Yeah.
you can't use it to be like, I need this, and you get something, and you can say like, ah, this is how I could do it, and then you can build on from there. You
Well,
can,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
and
take this part and then replace that part with, or even as I do it, I say like, I take it as it gives me, and then I add my stuff to it to the framework, and then I try it and it fails always, and then it's like, all right, this fails. Why does it fail? Okay, it fails because of that. How can we do that differently? Can we try this? And then you have a back and forth, and
Yeah.
that's how you get code that eventually works. I'm not saying
Exactly.
it's great code because someone who actually knows what they're doing could probably do this a lot better, but I don't have that available to me. I have the resources
Yeah.
that I have, and for that it works great.
That's my issue. So I'm trying to be active at using it, but then whatever I accomplish with it, like I could have done it faster, without using it. So I'm like
Yeah,
that's my
and that's why
problem.
you're a senior developer. I could not have done it faster without
I,
AI.
I'll keep using it.
I could have done it without AI, but it would have taken me 5 days,
well,
5 days extra.
Yeah.
Rudig says 14% of all job losses in 2023 is attributed to AI. I would
Wow.
say look at those trade schools, ladies and gentlemen.
Trade
Yeah.
schools.
I love using like Stable Diffusion, etc. And I'm an old art director, and for me it's just tools that are amazing.
Yeah.
We used it for like backgrounds for thumbnails and stuff instead of putting like 2 hours doing those. So for me, the AI tools are uh, absolutely amazing. I need them.
Yes. I can't wait
Yeah, I
for it
agree.
to be worth it for me too.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be eventually. Job losses probably not due to AI though. Ubisoft has laid off 124 people due to redundancies after they've been reorganizing internally. Um, I mean, I gotta say, like, for all of the layoffs that has happened in this year, which has been horrible for the industry, I think in general. But I think Ubisoft is one of the ones where like I can actually see why because they're like 20,000 people.
Yeah, and we also have to remember this that like with Rockstar, 10 years is a lot of time in this industry. People are showing that they don't want the same Far Cry as they
Right.
did. They don't want the same like now Assassin's Creed. We've seen 370 different Assassin's Creed, and people want new stuff. So I
Yeah.
mean that's why some games are going like straight up like the Joseph Fares games, and some games are the same old shit. And if you have 20,000
Well,
employees, like 2,000
that's
people working on the same sort of dish that you had last year, people
well
get
that
bored.
that's why I ask, did the money ruin Rockstar a little bit? Because I mean, right? Because
Of
look,
course it did.
there's a difference, man, when it comes to keeping the fans happy or your consumers happy and keeping the shareholders happy. They're not, they
Yeah.
don't have to match up. Matter
No.
of
No,
fact, I can give you Cyberpunk as an example. They released the game in a shit state. Bunch of people were unhappy. The shareholders were super happy because of
Yeah.
the
yeah.
initial sales, all the money, blah blah
But
blah. They turned around, spent money, fixed it, got all the consumer confidence soaring through the roof. The stocks went down.
So
It
that's what
yeah,
sucks.
happens. That's what happens. Like the companies, they start with being innovative, and then when they got it, when they're popular, now what? They hand it off to the marketing department, and then the marketing
no.
department, they
d-
don't
And
want to make
some
new stuff.
do,
They
and
do
want
you
some
know
people to
why?
companies,
get more money.
Listen here. That's because when a game gets popular, you get investors like
Mhm.
who did Fall Guys?
Um,
Mediatonic,
Mediatonic. Yeah,
or I think it
they
was
they were bought by who bought them?
they
Sony,
were
Epic
first,
Games.
Epic.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they were first being published by Devolver Digital, and they sold it to
well,
Epic
it
Games.
just
yeah.
Yeah.
seems like
It's
it used to be in the industry that all the developers were all basically sort of on the same playing field. Some of them had more money, of course, but like they pushed the boulder up the hill. They struggled. But when they finally got it to the top, they'd take 2 years off. They'd usually push out a sequel, and then they guess what? They went right back to the bottom of the hill, pushing another boulder up the hill. We don't have that anymore. They
but
push a boulder up the hill and go, "Woo, we're done."
it's it,
Ship them out
it
and
it's
just keep pushing them
basically
out
I
in a
think it
sense.
goes back to till the 80s when we had like I believe Codemasters were two brothers that started the company doing the games in their on the C64 in their bedroom, and most games were driven by passion,
Yeah. And they were
and that
200 kilobytes too.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then we got companies seeing this as it gets more and more popular. Today, it's the biggest entertainment media ever. Nothing can compare to the gaming industry.
Hey, I mean the gaming industry is bigger than film, TV, movie, and
Music,
music combined.
yeah.
And
So
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
yeah, when you get
guys.
It's
investors,
funny.
they are
I was going to
yeah
say it was funny because you brought up Codemasters.
geniuses.
EA bought them.
Yeah.
So sorry, my thing's lagging, so I didn't realize someone else was talking. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Yeah, the
So,
Codemasters.
No. With Codemasters, what's funny about that is it was started by two brothers, but most of their earlier work was actually by two other brothers. It's the two brothers who founded Codemasters. They weren't really behind most of their biggest games at the time. It was by two other brothers called the Oliver twins that were brought on about a year after it was founded.
Ah, yeah,
and now it's all EA.
yeah.
So
I watched a documentary about this.
yeah, I actually wanted to bring
Then that's
NG
all EA. Now
because
EA controls all. So it's like, oh,
yeah, I wanted to bring NG because sometimes shareholders could also bring good things because
Correct. Yeah.
if you're thinking about Netflix games, because the reason why it exists is because the shareholders started seeing a lot of interest in gaming, right? And they wanted to bring that up. So NG, I don't know if this is something you'd like to talk about, maybe.
actually, there was that's one of two reasons. The other reason was due to the influx of streaming services on the market and Netflix needing to set itself apart from other players. So whilst companies like Disney have all the big like franchise like Star Wars and Marvel, Netflix can like, well, hey, you can get movies, TV, and games from us, so our subscription is worth more to you.
Hmm.
And obviously, investors knew obviously gaming was obviously huge and obviously a huge market. That's why they got into gaming. And also it's also kind of funny me talking about this because obviously I do actually have investments in two game publishers, and one of them has just been hit with huge layoffs, and one of them is actually acquiring a lot of stuff at the minute, which is kind of funny. But
Did, do
basically,
you
how I
think they
see it
heard
is a lot of these
when
companies that get too big, they buy up too many things.
when Stadia come out? Do you think they heard everybody say the
Do I
Netflix of
think you
gaming?
heard?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
they
wondering
did.
because everybody said that. Like even
Yes.
though it was different model.
Actually, I think they heard it before that. I think a lot of people were talking about that before Stadia because obviously Game Pass launched in 2017. So I assume that sort of come out. Everyone's like Netflix gaming, and then ever since everyone's trying to make the Netflix of gaming, And Netflix, like the way I see it, is Netflix is like, oh screw it, why don't we be the Netflix of gaming?
You're right.
But
I mean,
I'll be honest,
it's
they've still got
funny.
quite a bit to go,
It's funny how
obviously. They only
they.
have 3 games available in their cloud beta.
Yeah, it's funny how like when a company does something that the company name becomes associated with a thing that's not necessarily just that. It's kind of like how the Kodak moments or the these Wetex wipes that's all over, they're very common over here, where it's like that name is actually a product itself.
Xerox.
Yeah, Xerox as well. Like, yeah, where it's actually something else. And I think like Netflix has essentially become synonymous with a subscription where you get a bunch of entertainment to consume, no matter what it is.
It's
Which
the
is
thermos of
kind of-
media.
Yeah, it's like a buffet of media. That's that's a Netflix.
What's kind of depressing is the only way I know what Xerox is because I watched BoJack Horseman and they use that line at one point in that show, and that's a Netflix show. He says about Xerox for Xerox, and he gets sued by Xerox. But that's how I understand it. But obviously, with Netflix, obviously they're trying to do like games and films and TV and all of it. But I'll be honest, I don't see why like other companies aren't trying to jump on and do the same thing, because a lot of other companies do have big game libraries or do have a decent library of like film and TV stuff, but no one's trying to do all of it at once. Like they're trying to be like this, and this. And funny enough, you mentioned Stadia, because both companies that I actually have stock in actually did put their games on Stadia, or at least put certain games on Stadia.
Yeah. But speaking of Netflix games, they did announce a bunch.
We'll see if you can guess.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. So which two companies that were? I don't know. I have no idea. You have to tell me.
Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess.
What 2 games were released by who on Stadia? Sorry.
Ninja, you can't say anything. I told you. You know what the 2 are. I think you know anyway. I'm not entirely sure, but you know what 2. I think you know what both of them are. It's Atari and Sega.
Oh, Humankind and Atari released a bunch of stuff, like all the
the Centipede game.
Classic Centipede.
I know.
Dragoon.
Yeah, they had a bunch of them. So Atari was quite big in on Sega. Sega was a bit more. They tried their waters, I think, with Humankind, and it didn't really work out. But I think
Sega did like Humankind, and I think they also put like a Football Manager.
I think they also had Judgment, right? Is that?
Oh, right, yeah.
I think that was Judgment.
Yeah, I think that is Sega.
They had an Olympic game.
Yeah.
That would do.
They had a Japanese role. They had a Japanese role-playing game too. I think Valkyrie Chronicles or something.
Right. Kill Your Chronicles.
Yeah, I mean they had a fair few then.
Oh yeah, that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Netflix, Ninja, you tweeted out that there's some announcements for them.
Yeah.
You're basically like you and NG are basically the goat. Like I don't think there is an official Netflix Games Twitter handle. Like I think I just go to YouTube for the 2 of you for news for that, because
there's none.
You're more reliable than they are.
It's crazy because like as we speak right now, they keep announcing new games. So like Ninja, NG, you're probably the same, but like I'm on Discord and looking at it. Like they just keep. I guess today is like the day that they keep.
Like they should just hire the 2 of you.
I want to cut. I need this. I need to.
Right. Yeah.
So first off, Braid.
Could you imagine? I was like,
So Braid has been announced to coming in.
Braid's getting an anniversary remaster.
Who here has played Braid before?
It was a
Never heard of it.
Never finished it.
Played a little bit.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's an old game.
I
Like it's
had
one of
Braid.
the
Oh, yeah.
first like popular indie game.
You talking about Raid, the Shadow Legend game or
No,
whatever?
no.
I don't know.
Braid.
You gotta see that.
Braid. Oh, Braid.
Braid.
Like honestly, Braid is one of the best indie games
It's one of the
ever.
first. Like, to be
Fantastic.
honest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is basically a 2D platformer puzzle game, but it jokes about like it makes jokes like the princess and other castle joke comes up in every single level.
Right.
But it's like it's basically a time traveling sort of game, like because in every like different differences on which levels there are. Like in some levels, time only moves when you move. In others, time constantly moves backwards, but
Yeah.
and then you can and then you can like you hit an enemy or you fell down a slope. Then you can rewind time. But in some of these worlds, like if you rewind time, the world doesn't rewind, or the world rewinds, but you don't rewind, and it just becomes this mind-bogglingly like difficult puzzle game at the end. But it's also a platformer. It's like the storyline is also really good.
Yes.
So when this drops on Netflix Games, don't miss it because it's really good.
Yeah.
You should all be playing Braid.
Ending is pretty mind blowing. I don't know if it's mind blowing by these days standard, but at the time, that when it was released, it was pretty mind blowing.
I think it still will be deemed quite.
Yeah.
And it was made by one guy, Jonathan Blow, who then went on to make The Witness.
Oh wow, interesting.
Did he make Limbo as well?
No, I think Limbo was someone else.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar, yeah.
But yeah, Braid is great.
And then right now they just announced. Oh well, yeah, I'll let you keep going.
Shadow Brothers.
Make sure-
That's horrible.
Ray, I've got to leave this all up here for you to be feel ashamed of.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I got some payback to do. If you saw my
Yeah, he
last
does.
stream.
Oh yeah, I saw you. Yeah, you do.
Payback.
Football Manager 24 has been released on Netflix Games. Making is it available outside of Netflix Games and mobile?
It is available on Apple Arcade also, but it's
Okay,
only
but not on
available
that.
through
I think
subscriptions.
so.
So yeah, so you can't buy this game on mobile, which is interesting.
Exactly.
Because there was only a few years ago where they stopped doing the mobile version at all.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, they canceled it because it wasn't selling it, making them
I
costing
know
them more
that
than the game.
2023 exists, but I think that now they're not making new games. They're just like upgrading the same game.
Yeah, I think so. But
And
they
correct me if I'm wrong, MG. I'm not sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it was 2022 they dropped the mobile version because it didn't make them any money, and then they brought it back.
Okay.
I keep
so-
checking my TV to see if I got the Netflix app because I know some people on certain TVs they did roll the app out on certain TVs.
Oh yeah, the beta version. Yeah, the cloud one.
So I've been checking. I was like, please, I want to try it out.
So the Football Manager game also it released Monday, and it already have 100K downloads on the Android.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's pretty popular.
Yeah, and then they have the Shadow and Bone Destinies.
Ooh, I watched this show on Netflix.
I'm yet to watch it. I've heard the show is pretty good, and I do like fantasy shows, so I should just watch it, but I haven't yet. But it's getting a game.
The next season has been delayed, and like there's not a lot of talk about it. So
The game's actually already out. It came out today.
Oh, it did. Oh, very cool. Finally.
As a fan of the show, I
The game's
would
already out,
love to
yeah.
play this
Yeah, the game's
game.
already
I would
out.
love to play this game.
Very nice.
Yeah, and then we had Story Warriors Fairy Tales as well, which is
It's a game from 2016. I gave it a try yesterday for fun, and it's an interesting mechanic. Like you basically read a story, and you can take words out of the story to pass certain points in the game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I've been playing through Storyteller a lot in the last couple of days. It's
a good one.
like some of those puzzles are annoyingly difficult, and then it just clicks and you get it.
Exactly. There's two new games. Well, two games that's been.
Do you have the other Netflix game that just got announced?
Another one?
There's one about Chicken Run. No,
Yeah.
if you go to Netflix UK and Ireland, there's one saying Chicken Run Extraction. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give you the
If you go
trailer
to UK and
there.
Ireland Twitter, you'll see something like that.
You might not find it yet, but let me send you a link.
Which is funny because
There
It's
it
a
is.
Chicken Run Extraction. It's a brand new stealth
there you
action mobile game. Based Chicken Run. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Money Heist also is. They talked about it today. They have a game coming out, and it's more like of a
Yeah.
graphic novel, but it's still pretty cool.
Did they give us a release date? Please, somebody give us a release date.
I didn't get a chance to check because we're on the show, and like
Is there a release date?
yeah,
there
we're
is,
pretty excited, Bjorn.
yeah, I can tell. I mean, they have. Isn't it like a Netflix Geeked Week event
It is the
right
Geek
now?
Week,
For
so
yeah,
that's why.
so there's
why
going to
we're
be a
getting lot.
bunch. So basically, just
Week.
they are announcing basically one new thing every 10 minutes right now. So if you just jump in there and keep track of it. We're gonna have to catch up with the rest afterwards, I think. Speaking of mobile games being released, Wreckfest is launched on mobile, and the mobile port is pretty great. It's like it's very cheap as well right now for as launch price, and it runs really well. The only downside is like it's 6.5, 7 gigabytes of storage is taken up by this game. So, but it is a full-on game, and the in-app purchases is the official DLC. So it's a full-on port of Wreckfest to mobile. And if you don't want to waste your storage on it, you could always play it through like xCloud or something.
Yeah, I would suggest doing that.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
So the xCloud version has the same touch controls, and except it's xCloud, so it's slightly. I think the resolution is a bit different, and the GeForce Now has the game, but it doesn't have the touch controls.
Well, Ray has had a blast in this game, doing it for the
Yes.
community and playing it. Ray, what are
it
your
was so
thoughts,
fun.
man? What are your thoughts of this coming?
I played it on my phone before with the controls, and I played it on my little Gamester. So I'd be interested to play it on mobile and check
Yeah,
it out.
and you can see here in the image. So this is the UI. So this is the gas pedal, then the brake pedal, the handbrake,
Ooh.
and then the turning is basically just you slide on the left side of the
Just
screen.
remember, if you play
Okay.
this game, the opponents on the track are quite aggressive, even if you're 3 laps ahead of them. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in
They
mind.
are.
So I've just played 2 demolition derbies, but they were a lot of fun.
They are fun. They're a lot of fun.
So yeah, and
Just to mention, they've also got, I'm sure they're going to have it in that version as well. They have their own currency in the game, not for you to spend money, but for you to earn it and then unlock special vehicles and stuff. They've, I'm not sure if they're updating it anymore, but they had like 3 or 4 different seasons of new events, and it was really, really cool, man. I really liked what they did with it.
yeah. Next up, we have. So have any of you watched this? Like seen any videos from The Escapist at some point, or like zero punctuation reviews? If you
Yeah, I used to love Yahtzee's reviews when
Yeah.
I was younger.
So Yahtzee and like some people on the video team on The Escapist were fired. So the rest of the video team, including Yahtzee, just resigned on the spot. They over the course of a single day, the entire video team on The Escapist left the company. And they are now have announced a new YouTube channel called The Second Wind, which is going to be doing the same thing they were doing over there, basically. Sometimes with the same like names and IPs, and sometimes without it, depending on who owned it. But yeah, basically this is owned by the team, and so Zero Punctuation will continue but under a different name, but not on The Escapist, but on Second Wind. It was a complete implosion, and everyone went to Twitter and be like, so yeah, there's one of the guys who I think the video editor was like, I haven't used Twitter in 6 years, but I'm going back on here just to announce I've also left today. And will be joining Second Wind. They fired them over over not meeting the targets, but there were no targets properly set anyway, which is really shitty to do. And the whole team were like, yeah, then I guess we're all out. Bye. Good luck. So yeah.
Did you hear about? I know that a company from Embracer Group is in danger of being fired. Do you have that in the news?
I don't have it in the news.
Which
I
of
did.
them?
Yeah, there were several. There were so many, but they were all rumors, so I didn't put it in.
Okay.
Yeah, free radical design.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Free Radical, yeah, who
Apparently, a
were
bunch of the staff have already put up
which yeah,
doing
and that
things in LinkedIn
studio
posts. So
and that studio is doing working on the Time Splitters remake.
Yes, that's the one. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one I was
yeah.
thinking of.
So there is a rumor, at least, out that they are facing being closed down, but there's nothing announced yet. So we'll save that for
Gotcha.
when it's hopefully they can not be.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but I will say
I
it
think
does
this
look.
week, sometime this week or maybe next week is the quarterly report for Embracer, and it's not going to be fun. I think Shams Rajani, who used to work at Paradox, tweeted out something like. Brace for impact. The Embracer Group has their quarterly announcement soon on this date. It's not going to be pretty. Hopefully, I wish Embracer all the best because they are employing a lot of people around the world, especially here in Sweden, and like I hope they can get out of this. But yeah, they overextended thinking they would have the $2 billion deal, and then that got ripped from under them, and now they are scrambling.
The COO had to stop, right?
Yeah, I think the CEO left,
Yeah.
or had to leave, or left. Shady, like, a bit unclear.
Egil Strunke.
Yep.
And he started up his own company called Strunke Gaming or something. Strunke Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now let's move into some handheld. So this was just announced. The Steam Deck OLED coming November, coming next week, which is very soon, and yeah, I think there's Matthias, I'll just let you do the talking here.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. The most obvious upgrade is the screen. It goes from 7 inch to 7.4. It upgrades the refresh rate to 90 hertz from 60. It's got a upgraded Bluetooth 5.3 as well as Wi-Fi 6E, improved from Wi-Fi 5. The battery upgraded by 30% minimum, up to I think 50 watt hours from 40. The fan is upgraded, and you have new sticks and new buttons, I think. And apparently you can't do the screen swap yourself because it's internal. It's another power draw and different power lanes. So apparently you can't swap for the OLED screen.
Yeah, and there's also a 1 TB version.
Yeah, exactly. It looks really good.
How's
Yeah.
the price like compared to the other one? Is it the same price or is it a little bit more expensive?
So they're doing the price drop
The-
of the existing one,
Okay.
and
The
then they
1 TB OLED is actually interesting price in my mind, just because like this gives you decent PC gaming in the palm of your hand with a terabyte of space.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think I think the 512 before, the old 512 was 649.
yeah. So they're
Okay.
Like
dropping.
that's compelling, I think.
Very cool.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have, yeah, you can see the difference there. You have the 7 nm APU, the 6, is it nanometers or whatever in the new
Yeah,
one?
nanometers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6,
Well,
50, 40
the
watt
super
hour to
interesting things about these APUs that are coming out is that they're so damn powerful and they take so little watts to run.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the battery life's fantastic and this and that. We know it's not, but the point is though, what they're getting done for the watts that they're using is amazing.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what comes down the pike in the future, because all this stuff right here was impossible to put in the palm of your hand just a few years ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, in the way they're doing it now, it's a full
I-
desktop in your hand, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm basically using. I've been using the Steam Deck as my main computer since it was released, and when I got the Ally on 13th of June, I've been using only the Ally. So I'm using that one. That's my full computer with 2 screens here, keyboard, everything, and it works amazing. That's my only computer.
Well, it's
And
very interesting that they're discussing an APU for the or whatever for the PS5 Pro or PS6, whatever you want to look at it as, is the leak as. But
yeah,
it's just interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been thinking about like Asus did that gaming phone that was dockable a couple of years ago. Uh, and I mean, this is where we're going, I think, with all the new APUs and system on the chips. I mean, look at in 2 or 3 years from now, handhelds are here to stay. This will
Oh yeah.
be your main unit, and just dock it and have a desktop setup. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I think the PlayStation Portal went up for pre-order today. Like today, yesterday in Sweden for like around 3,000 Swedish crowns. So
that's stupid. Don't
yeah,
name it.
yeah,
Oh,
and then
oh,
I don't have a PS porthole, but I'm working on it.
are you? But don't don't you have a phone?
yeah,
Don't
and
you
then we
guys have
have
No,
phones?
the
no.
guys. This is for all the Stadia crew out there. This that you see on screen right now is the limited edition 1 terabyte one.
Yeah,
Does it remind you of this maybe?
Oh my gosh, that color.
Wow.
it
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Like that color alone makes me want this version above
But
anything
That
else.
looks dope right there.
but but can it do this?
Ooh,
And to be fair, it can't.
Yeah,
I
Blasphemy!
like
Yeah,
that.
I'm getting the
I
Ronin
like
instead.
I like how that looks, Marius.
yeah. It's the JSAW backplate
Ooh.
with RGB, and now I'm getting it for the Ally as well. So I'm gonna release a video on this one. It's a bit long. It's close to an hour when I
Oh wow.
upgraded the backplate and the Hall sensor sticks.
Ooh.
So I'll be releasing that soon, and when I get the RGB backplate for the Ally, I will release that as well.
So yeah, Steam Deck OLED announced, and at least here in Sweden, there's also been a price drop on the ROG Ally.
Yeah,
Not sure if
I
that's also happening in other countries.
I think so.
Then there's also I mean the Lenovo Legion Go is now also available for purchase. So there's stuff happening in the handheld space for sure.
Yeah, I think it's how much is the? Can you check the price on the Ally in the States? If it's like 649 or something now.
619.99 at Best Buy. So right now, you're saving $80.
That's insane for what you get. I would say you don't have to get the Legion Go unless you're really desperate about a bigger screen, but I would say go for the Ally.
I can pick it up in 1 hour in San Jose.
So
You
you're
might want to run it by the wife first, though,
I
just
know,
to be
yeah.
I
sure.
know, I know.
So you're out of here now.
Yeah, like, see you later, guys. You gotta pick one up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, from almost $700 to 620.
Yeah.
it's pretty
That's a
hefty discount. Yeah,
yeah, that's a good discount.
yeah.
Yeah, but they have to because this is one signal that they will be releasing a new one soon, and you know we will be seeing new devices all the time.
Yeah,
See, that's
and
what scares me though. If I buy this like come around like Christmas time and I get it,
Yeah,
come January they're gonna have, oh, guess what? We got something better, new, improved.
but you
That's
will.
kind of,
Well,
I
the
mean, you will
difference between
always
the
have something new. You will always have
I
something new. But
know.
yeah,
Well, I just think I don't. I left for a second, so I'm not sure if we're on the same damn thing anymore. But I think
Well,
it's super compelling
handhelds.
yeah. But to be able to play everything that you're playing on your PC, to then switch up and go handheld with it, but it's actually playing the game. It's not cloud. I think that is so remarkable. I think with cloud we wouldn't need it necessarily, but it's so
yeah,
cool that you literally can have the PC experience in the palm of your hand, and it's this damn big or this big.
That is
But
yeah,
my
but
number one handheld right now
yeah. I mean,
that I want.
if you look, I've been playing a lot of GeForce Now on it. It looks absolutely fantastic. I've been playing Chiaki against the PS5. I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare uh, against the Xbox, and I had like it felt like a native experience.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I mean it's if you have it with GeForce Now, you have those two streaming apps and native games, you will have the best experience ever.
Yeah, the
Oh,
best of two worlds,
I
really.
didn't even think about that because GeForce Now does have the best fidelity, and yeah, you got good stable internet. You've got AAA, super AAA
Yeah,
gaming on that
yeah, yeah,
screen, and you're not drawing your
Mhm.
battery down like you would be
Oh
if you
yeah.
were generating the game.
yeah. And
Just
if
cool tech, man. The
if you
future's
want to,
looking bright for the shrinkage, the shrinkage for
if
the for the smaller footprint that these devices are using to give us the
and
performance we're getting.
and SPG, if you want to play like GeForce Now handheld on the go on the bus or something, you can always get one of these.
Oh,
What the
yeah, an
heck is
inverter? Is that what that
that?
is?
Now that's a battery pack
Oh, a
Yeah,
battery pack.
with a
it's
full-on like 12 volts. So okay,
Yeah,
yes.
it's huge.
and everything.
I
Yeah.
I do have something
It's
similar to that,
cold
but
in
that's
here, Maker. It's cold. It's cold in here.
Yeah, it's it's fantastic. It's 250 watt hours. So I mean, you okay? Play it. You can play it. You can probably play it at 9 watts on GeForce Now. That means you'll play for close to 30 hours.
Yeah, my hat goes off to GFN, man, for or whatever, man, for their company to be releasing the 4090, their brand new flagship graphics card, and then go, oh, by the way, you want to check out the 4080? Like, we got them all ready for you. Just
Yeah, you
But
can just
That was
stream it if you
fast.
want to, and then you can buy it if you want to.
but
Like,
yeah,
you do
but
you.
that's
didn't they
pretty
have to
compelling, man.
cap the memberships in Sweden?
Not only Sweden, the entire all of Europe, the capped the memberships.
Well,
For a brief while, it was a couple of hours, or a couple, or maybe a day or two. They stopped selling the one month subscriptions because they were not sure that we're going to be able to maintain
no,
the blades.
One
I think the
thing.
biggest reason for that was City Skylines 2.
Do you think?
I'm a niche market for them, meaning that like my use case is definitely different than everyone else's.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
have I have a 4090. I still pay for GFN. Why? Because to me, it's super compelling to be able to stream at the max fidelity with
Yeah.
zero
Oh
resources
yeah.
from your end. Um,
Do you think they said something like, Kevin, can you run down to the shop and pick up like 8,000 4090s? Like chop 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 chop.
Yeah, like we need to put them in our data centers, and then we can ship the rest out. All right, do
yeah,
that. Yeah,
now
good.
Yeah.
Now
Cheers. Go.
their data centers interest me. You can kind of get around about what they're using for the 4080s because I've looked it up and looked into the actual hardware that's in the rack or that we believe is in the rack. Can't get any
Yeah.
real information from it, really. I've
Wow.
wanted to,
Did
but
you hear? I believe Bjorn remembers what when I told him about my colleague. His brother works for, I think it was Microsoft. He's a buyer for their data centers. Do you remember how many hard drives I told you, Bjorn?
No, it
oh,
wasn't.
I can
It was something
imagine.
insane. Wasn't it like a couple of
For,
thousand a day or something?
no, wasn't it like 40 million hard drives in a data
Well,
center?
have you you
It
guys
was just
know
insane.
of Shadow PC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what they did is they bought an old water treatment plant and they turned it into a giant water cooler for all of their stuff.
yeah,
Wow.
All of it. Everything
Yep.
in their racks is all water cooled and stuff, and it's like a giant loop. It's
yeah.
very interesting what they did. I think
Yeah,
that's really
I
cool.
wish they. I wish it they would put out a data center closer to where we are because it's like I love Shadow, but my closest data center is northern France, which is a little bit like it's just where like it's usable, but you can feel the latest a little bit every now and then. But it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it is like several countries away, so like almost the other side of Europe.
We,
Um,
we we have a small one here that does like server hosting and stuff. They're small. They're called Glaciers, and I think they change around 1,000 drives a day. So
damn.
they have Yeah, and that's a small local one, and
Yeah.
you have guys going around with the cards, just changing
Yeah, hot
cards around.
swapping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just insane.
I talked to one of the infrastructure guys at my job the other day, and he said that you know in the same, like, they have like the wall next to, like, right next to their racks. On the other side of a wall is Steam's racks for Stockholm or Sweden.
Nice.
And he said it was like the heat coming off those servers when Baldur's Gate was released was insane. Like,
That was like the sun.
yeah, I think he said that, you know, they saw a temperature spike on all of their hardware when Baldur's Gate released, because the heat coming off the Steam servers was generating so much heat that it went through the wall and affected their stuff by 20 degrees or something.
I don't
Celsius.
want to work. I don't want to work in that Steam data center then.
Yeah.
Getting sunburnt and
All I can
Yeah.
imagine is like
And just-
super musty guy, shirtless, you know, like, and really like working
Yeah, like
hard.
hot summer, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was. He
Like
said,
hot
you know, yeah. I mean, he said that basically every time there is a new, like, he can see in the temperatures on our servers whenever Steam has a big release.
so he asked
Like,
you,
it spikes like
Bjorn,
this.
what did they release?
Steamy.
We have 10 degrees plus now.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
yeah.
something
So I was like, yeah. So we see a like temperature increase of 10 degrees. What did Steam release? Oh, they released this new game. All right, that explains it. Nothing to worry about then. Like, it's not our systems going wrong. It's just Steam being Steam. Yeah, that's the level of temperature they're at. Also,
Maybe we should do some research until
No.
another episode. I mean, about data centers.
yeah, that would be fun.
Well, we could ask AIs and they can do the research for us, you know?
There you
I'll
go.
do it.
There you go, full circle.
I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, do that. While you do that, I'll briefly mention that, speaking of mobile news, Epic, apparently, from the lawsuit, we've found out that Epic turned down a $147 million that they were offered to put Fortnite on Google Play. And they said no to that.
They're having a hard time dealing with that. It's not the first time that they're like refusing
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't want, like, because what Epic is trying to say, we will put Fortnite on Google Play when you lower the percentage from 30% to something else. And Google's like, no, but that's what we take. And they're like, but lower it, otherwise we'll give you money. But nope, lower it.
They have an issue with V-Bucks also, I think, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Roblox is facing a lawsuit claiming that it lacks child safety measures, and I think that lawsuit is probably correct. That's all we're gonna say on that. And then, if you like subscriptions, and if you like anime, and if you like mobile games, you're in luck, because apparently Crunchyroll is now adding mobile games to their subscription service, just like Netflix is. So Netflix is rubbing off on others.
I love it.
So yeah, do any of you here have a Crunchyroll subscription?
Nope.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I love Japanese anime, and also there's some good drama too, Japanese drama. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but I'm
Is that
like,
what
you
it
know,
is?
honey, I'm like Netflix has a lot of international television shows, and I've been watching a lot of shows, even though I can't speak the language. I do read the subtitles, and there's some really good shows out there that I think people are missing out on. And Crunchyrolls, yeah, I watch it.
Yeah, I'll send you some Swedish ones that are on Netflix that I think you might like.
Hey, go for it. I think there's a couple of shows that I'm watching. You guys make good horror movies.
Really?
know,
Yeah, that too.
yeah.
And some like my wife is really loving one of these. Like, I think it's called Young Royals. And it's basically a drama show of teenagers who also happen to be royalty, and it's like a Swedish show, and it's apparently really, really good. It's on Netflix. It's like, and then there is this crime show from last year that you definitely gonna watch. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look up the name and send it to you in DM. Yeah, but it's basically a show where, like, you follow someone, like, it's a girl who's on trial for a school shooting, and you have to like follow what the events leading up to it in flashbacks.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's really good. But yeah, so it doesn't say here which which games is being
There's
added. I think.
only 5 games in total. So, if you just want to subscribe for the games, it might not be worth it right now.
Yeah.
It's mostly
But it
like
might be
an
in the
addition.
future.
They have River City Girls.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
the main one. And the other 4.
Captain Velvet Jump Plus Dimensions.
Right. So that's a strategy game.
And then there is the single player RPG Wolf Stride.
Oh, yeah. That's a. Yeah, it's an RPG, turn-based
Yeah.
RPG.
And then Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery.
Laurie.
It's like a casual, kind of like hidden object type of game.
And then Afterburn's Food Themed Puzzler and Invento, which is, I'm guessing,
I can't remember.
bento. I'm
Oh,
guessing
yeah,
you
the
do something with a
sushi
bento
one.
box. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just,
You do
Um,
sushi stuff. It's a puzzle game.
yeah. Sushi stuff. Yeah, speaking of food, Booster is adding Plate Up and some other games. Children of Morta, Plate Up, Trailmakers, God of Weapon, Backpack Battles, Strange Brigade are all being added to Booster, as well as Football Manager 24 under the install tab.
Wow, Strange Brigade, nice.
Well, they're
That's a
offering
great game.
4K now too, aren't they?
They are going to be rolling out 4K towards the end of the year and continue rolling out in the beginning of next year. So Boosteroids. I mean, that's been happening very on the horizon forever, but finally,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
happening.
I was about to say.
If we finally have a release window, it was like, we hope to have it out by summer, and then that didn't happen, and then but yeah, so late 2023, early 2024, 4K rolling out to Boosteroid. Yes. Which also these servers are a result of R&D between Asus and AMD. So there will be some AMD GPUs specifically designed for cloud gaming in those racks. Will be fun. SPG, you should pick up a month of Boosteroid then and see if you can figure out what hardware they're using.
What hardware they're using?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's
or what kind of sweaty men do you
Well, that kind of stuff that kind of stuff just interests the hell out of me. Are they using a much larger GPU and sectioning it off for multiple users? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of that stuff's really interesting to me.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean-
I love when on Stadia, remember when Batman had the white label Batman? We were able to figure out what cards they were using for Stadia. I love that kind of stuff. Digging inside and finding all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
Love that
And I think they're also saying that hopefully by the time they rolled it out, they also have all of Activision Blizzard games on Booster as well. It's their hope.
Well,
They're not guaranteeing it, but that's the plan.
One of my favorite developers, I think, are about to announce a new game of theirs, and I cannot wait. It should be the end of this year or latest the end of next year. But Warhorse Studios, I believe they've been hard at work for multiple years working on Kingdom Come Deliverance Deuce.
Oh, wow.
And I
It's
cannot
coming
wait
soon.
for that. I cannot wait for that.
Warhorse and Embracer through PlayOn.
Back when they made that title, they had less than 200 employees, and now they're close to 500. I do believe something's going to be announced soon. They've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, so. I mean, whenever I backed this. I'm a backer of Kingdom Come on Kickstarter.
Now it had its problems when it was first released. It's a much smaller studio. So think of a fraction of the people that built Skyrim. Well, they basically built Skyrim with 100 or so people, and they had a whole bunch of bugs to squash. But when they did, it is a very compelling game, man. It really is.
Yeah, and also the forests in this game is the most realistic forest I've ever seen.
Yes,
the game looks beautiful.
It is.
I haven't had a chance to. Well, I played it a little bit, but I've always been intimidated by it because it does so much more than Skyrim, right? There's so much stuff in the game.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's a simulation survival game in a sense. Everything matters. You sprain your ankle and try to walk to town, you might bleed out on the way from a compound fracture. it's weird, but it's so enjoyable. But I find it remarkable what they were able to do with the low number of people within the studio. Now
Yeah,
the studio has grown, and I think that this was a very much a proof of concept for them. And one other thing, and then I'll throw it back to Bjorn. The game has no magic in it. So when I compare it to Skyrim, I'm
Oh.
comparing it to the world itself and the walking and the discovery that you make. It's very Skyrim-esque in that sense, but there's no magic. It's very much a
Wow.
1400 like
yeah, yeah. I
simulator.
mean, you're
Like
literally playing in like 1400s Bohemia.
yes, so you've got house intrigue, much like Game of Thrones, but there's no dragons, there's no
Yeah,
magic,
and
but
like
it's
the
very much
people, the most of these people you meet, and all of the places you're at are real places that exist in the real world.
correct. You can
Like real people history, like the world events are actual world events from history.
correct. So if
It's a
you go back and
historically
read
correct game.
history, you know what's most likely going to happen in the next game and everything else because it's real history. A
Yeah,
lot of the main character isn't a historical figure, but many of the larger characters that like own castles and like send you on quests, and you can become a squire to one of them or whatever, or they become your liege lord. Um, uh, like these things are real. Those people were real people with real histories. They literally give you all kinds of historical information about this house was found to be treasonous and they were stripped of all their lands, and it's just a really cool story. But if you want bombastic, like larger than life action and stuff, you're not getting that in this game. As a matter of fact, if three or more people come running at you, you run for your life because you're
Nice.
going to get
Oh,
handled.
yeah,
oh
and it's
wow.
also interesting because in the beginning of the game, I mean, you play, you start the game out playing as a blacksmith who has like maybe practice fight fencing with a stick with his friends as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
He does know like the tutorial even like tells you this is how you fight with a sword, and then you get further into the game and meet an actual army man who teaches you, and he basically tells you everything you've learned is wrong. This is how it
yeah.
actually works. So like the
So
game will teach you the wrong mechanics in the beginning of the game.
Cool.
what the game does is it's kind of like this. You are a peasant and you are not smart, nor are you experienced with anything. So the first time you pick up a sword and swing it, you're more than likely going to hurt yourself. Like
Yeah,
because you've never done it. You got to swing it 100 times onto somebody, and then you start gaining levels, and then you start getting proficient with the
yeah,
weapon. And
but
that is the
also
key, being
yeah, but also
proficient.
the combat system is quite clever because it's like directional combat with directional blocking, and there's a difference between slashing and thrusting and things like that. So while you getting better at the skills, you're also getting you as a player is also getting better, and that is like it's just as much a journey of you getting better than it is the character. Like the skill will do, but make it so like yeah, you will recover from stamina from this attack like 5% faster. But what's actually happening is you as a player is getting better at combat.
And
That's
an
what.
awesome thing is that if you really love RPGs, you like Skyrim or you like things like that, that you can get this game for like $10. And the awesome thing is you can play it on GFN and you can use that 4080 and crank all the settings up, even the experimental ones, because there's a settings thing for draw distance and vegetation and stuff. And so like they knew better hardware was coming down the pike, but they didn't have access to it yet, so they left a lot of these things in the game to tweak yet, and it's
Yeah,
really cool. It's
I
really
think
cool.
if you play this on like a high-end PC when it released and pushed it to like maximum graphics, we would crash. Like it was, and people say it was badly optimized, and I think yeah, in a sense yes, because it was a small studio, but also like I mean like this footage that's showing like this is how this is basically how a real forest looks, right? Like this is, and they just like the level design of this forest is so realistic, it's insane.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
And this was a 2018 release.
It looks good back then. Yeah.
And it looks better than most Forest games today.
Yes. Yeah.
And this was a game in 2018. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Good shout.
Yeah, I think it's right around the corner, man. They've been working
It
on it
should be.
for
Yeah,
four,
it should
five
be.
years, something like that. And yeah, so I cannot wait because I know that all the things that I found spectacular in the game are only going to get that much better in the sequel. Like Like I said, kind of like a proof of concept.
Yeah.
Not that it was a perfect game or anything, but it was so compelling and immersive.
It
Um,
was. Yeah.
I loved running around as Henry. Loved it.
I mean, look at this. This is this
Look at
isn't
that board.
games. This is a real life camera, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to stay on that trail.
Yeah.
You can turn left and veer
Wow.
off, and yeah,
Yeah, and this is, I mean, this is a with ray tracing and a 4090, so probably some mods as well. Wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. And at any point, you
But
could
yeah.
have a knight step out from the bushes or a couple of humans put their face mask down and go to fight you, and you're like, oh,
And like last thing before we'll move on. What I also love is when you put on a helmet in this game, it limits your
obstructs
visibility.
your view.
Yeah, you can bet you can't see shit. Like
Yeah, 'cause if
it
you-
will protect your face, but you can't see shit with it.
It reminds
That's
me a
right,
little bit
bro.
of Red Dead Redemption in a way, right? Like when you just walk around and randomly, like someone would just like corner
they have-
you, right? And,
Yeah, they have random encounters that generate in the game. Sometimes it's peasants that are just trying to rob you on the road. They come out with clubs and stuff, and you handle them pretty easy. But yeah, he's right. If you if you have a helmet that narrows your vision, when you slide it down over your face, it goes black, and then you've got two slits,
Oh my
and
gosh!
you can't see, like there's blind spots all over.
Yeah,
but your
it's,
head's protected. But
Like I think now you can. There are different options for it, but like on release, the only way you could save the game was
save your schnapps.
sleeping in a bed, or drinking a drink called Savior Snaps, which was quite rare. You could
Now,
craft
bro,
it, but it was very rare. They made it
This-
easier though.
This game is deep, man. You can go and
Yeah.
do alchemy where you brew your own potions, meaning you've got your own little workstation. You got to put your stuff up, and then you have to brew it in the right manner or it fails. Like, it's a pretty in-depth game, man. It's very simulation-esque. It's not action. It's very simulation. If you get in 3 fights and you walk into town with your armor all beat up and you got blood all over you, people are gonna they're gonna flee from you. They're like, it's really neat.
And interesting to see how like the speed run, how long it takes to finish. Yeah, someone finished it in an hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty. That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Speed runs are crazy.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, you just need to know where to go and what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember Morrowind, right? Like Elder Scrolls Morrowind, like you can just go right at the end boss and do
Yeah,
your thing,
bro.
so-
Listen, the thing I loved about Morrowind back in the day is I was just messing around and I got my lockpick skill up, right? I pick a lock and I enter a room and I meet Lord Vivek for the first time, the demigod that's like there on Earth. And I had the pants of whatever, I could levitate, right? So I levitated up into the ceiling onto the chandelier, and I had a bunch of arrows and I killed Vivek. And as soon as I did, the game went, oh, you've killed a main character. You're doomed to wander the world and never finish your main quest. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
so
Yeah.
that's crazy.
They went away with that in the later ones, unfortunately.
They did. They
But
did.
yeah, but some games still let you do that, like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but I love character choice and character consequence for those choices. When those are built into a game, I really enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Baldur's Gate 3 has like backup characters that will like. Oh, I mean, if this guy's dead, then this guy will do that instead. But if that guy's also dead, then this guy will
Well,
happen. And if everyone else is dead, we will spawn in this random guy who will be like, "Hey, I came in from out of nowhere. Let's go
That's-
here."
That's what we're gonna find out in our game because we're killing everything.
Oh, that's gonna be.
So
yeah, there's
by the time we get to the last light in, it's going to be very interesting because there's nobody there.
yeah, been there.
Nobody made it out of the Grove. Nobody made it out of the Goblin Camp. Nobody made it out of the Underdark. Nobody made it out of the Grimforge. It's pretty. It's
Yeah, that's
fun.
gonna be fun. But I think Ray, you have a Samsung TV, right?
Yes, I do, sir.
So Boostroid is now on the Gaming Hub.
Oh,
Yep.
nice. And now, will they be giving you 4K through the Gaming Hub?
Currently no, because currently they don't have 4K, but we
No,
don't.
no.
So it's
One of the questions I have
currently it's
for
10,
GFN,
currently it's 1080p.
one of the
1080p.
questions I have for GFN, since they have the 4080 tier, is that from what I understand, it may have changed because I haven't looked into it in a long time, but I have the Gaming Hub on my Samsung, and I played Stadia on it and loved it. I've played GFN on it; it's really good. But I can only get 4K 60 through the app. And if that is a limitation, then the access to the 4080 isn't as important to me. I'd rather plug my 4090 into my TV and get 4K 120 out there. You know what I mean? But I hope that they're able to give you the 4K 60, and then hopefully we could get the 4K 120 through the app. But I'm not sure if it's a limitation of the TV's hardware or theirs. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just happy to play 4K on my TV.
How does the Samsung TV plays? Like, do you guys feel any latency? Because I have a Google TV, and there's always like this little slight latency compared to my PC when I play.
Well, it might be the software of the TV, because, well, I mean, they have a game mode on TVs anyway that's supposed to cut out a whole bunch of that latency.
Yeah.
But when you go to the gaming hub and you fire one of those up, the TV goes into a different mode. It is a game mode, but it's specifically for that, I think, because it feels really good. Stadia
It's good?
felt
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've played a fair bit of GeForce Now and Boostroid on with because my TV has Android TV built in, so just install the apps and then just run it from there, and it runs perfectly fine.
Oh man, you guys are lucky.
So I've actually like I whenever I use my Stadia controllers on my PC, I always use them wired because they are all Bluetooth Bluetooth paired with the TV, and I don't want to bother having to repair them every time. So if I turn them on, I control my TV with them, which is kind of nice. But yeah, speaking of GeForce Now, it's a GeForce Now Thursday. They are announcing the Onimusha Warlords coming to GFN this week. Hack and slash adventure, and I think that's also isn't that also coming to Netflix as an anime? I think.
Oh,
that
wow.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would watch that for sure.
I think
so.
it is. Yeah. It's recently released Netflix anime adaptation, and they
Did this come
and they
out
even deep link into. Hang on.
Did this come out before or after the Ninja Gaiden remakes?
No
Or
idea.
about the same
That
time?
came
Okay.
before. That was close to the same time. Now that you mentioned that, yeah.
Because I remember
this
both
is,
of them. I just don't remember which one I liked better. I can't
Yeah.
separate them.
I enjoyed Ninja Gaiden better than Onimusha, but Onimusha, because of the controls, Onimusha is like tanky, where you have to, when you turn, you have to hold the right button.
Oh my god, Ray. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Ray.
So yeah, we need some context here before we bring up Ray's comments.
Yeah.
his comments could always use more context.
Yeah.
I got something to tell you after.
Make it your father's. Oh damn. Yeah. So what else? Endless Dungeon is out this week, which is a game I'm interested in checking out because it's from the team behind Humankind, and it's like a so you just basically design a dungeon to protect it. It's like a tower defense sort of style.
Yeah, I think it's on mobile too. It's ported by Playdigious.
Ooh, is it?
And I think so. Wait, let me check. Or you can check. Make it faster on Android.
Similar done with that in the remake of
Wow, it got mostly positive on Steam.
Maybe it's not Endless Dungeon. Wait, let me check quickly.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's only consoles and PC.
Okay.
I'm thinking of something else.
Probably. Yeah.
Dungeon of the Endless.
Well.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm looking at Dungeon
Close
4.
enough.
Let me look at. Hold on. I'm looking at Dungeon.
Because other games releasing this week is The Invincible, which is releasing already released. RoboQuest, Stronghold Definitive Edition, and if you're a fan of RTS and like building castles and defending it, and having to defend your castle against an onslaught of enemies.
Hey! We need to skip
Stronghold
to the best.
is
We
great.
need to skip to Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
Oh yeah, we'll get
Okay.
to that one for sure.
All right.
But yeah, just want to shout out. Stronghold is great because you basically design your castle and then you can have like 500 enemies trying to attack it, and you need to try. And it's like an RTS game that is really good, really old. This is like a re-release of it. Dungeons 4 is also a reverse dungeon crawler. You build a dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steam, Xbox, and PC Game Pass releasing today. Then we have Space Trash Scavenger releasing today. Then Airport CEO, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, Farming Simulator 19, Goner 2, Jurassic World Evolution 2, Onimusha Warlords, Planet of Lana, Cube, the 10th anniversary,
Oh, SPG put his cam on there. He's ready.
Trailmakers, and
Ain't ready.
Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion,
What the
the
fuck
Epic
idea
Game
is
Store
that?
version.
It's my
Is-
game of the year for next
It's
year.
a cool game. It's fun.
That's releasing this year.
It's actually kind of like I played a little bit of it as part of the touch control thing for when it was on Game Pass. Not sure it is
It
anymore.
sounds like it's gonna be a mean game.
Oh, but it's so fun. It's actually.
No,
really
yeah, it was a really fun
screwed
game.
yourself now, Turnip Boy.
So yeah, so basically,
game, bro.
I like my kind
Just
of
saying.
game.
It's like a 2D, like a 2D action game, or action RPG ish 2D.
Whoa.
I like the mustache, the mustachio.
So yeah, so you run around
It's like
with
Zelda. Yeah.
yeah, it's like old school Zelda thing where you're a turnip boy and you
Alright,
have
I'm gonna
done some
have to
tax
play this.
evasion. Like the whole the plot is yeah, it's like old school Zelda, and it's like you have apparently failed to declare some of your tax, so that's why
you
you're
had
chased
me
by
at
the law.
tax evasion, and now you throw Zelda in. I'm totally down.
Rero.
Wow.
It's like a big pig with the crown as a boss,
Big.
and a big cat. Yeah, it's and it's
We all
destroy
have
the
our
system,
swine display.
Gotta do
corrupt
that.
political power.
He had a big.
And you
smash.
can fight with a
Oh,
shovel.
you get lasers.
Oh, you sold him. Yeah, that later.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. Yeah, and it's
I just want to give a big shout out to Bjorn because with his knowledge of game and stuff, whenever he all the time when he announced the Nvidia games, he brings in his knowledge and gives us the games, and I like that because last time I was on the show, we were talking about Hellboy Web of
oh right,
Word,
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's
because
right.
of that, I bought the game and I have like over 40 hours of game.
Oh,
on
wow.
it. Yeah, I'm really
Nice.
enjoying it.
Nice.
Maybe not 40, maybe 20, but yeah,
Yeah,
no,
good, though.
That's
It's
what I
cool.
really appreciated about
Yes.
Stadia Pro. Like they gave us so many games that I never would have even tried, but because they were free, I wanted to claim them so they wouldn't go nowhere, and I liked a whole bunch of them. Like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of them.
exactly. Yeah. Now we have to spend money, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you
Or go to
technically
the
you
Epic
don't
Game
have to spend
Store.
money because you have the
Yeah, that's true. We got
and then-
Turnip Boy.
and then if you have if you also have Amazon Prime, you get like 6 or 12 games every month on Prime.
Yeah. That's true.
I think Doom is available on there right now.
Nice.
But yeah, and then starting next week,
Rage 2 is also available.
Right,
so
that's a good one.
yeah, and starting next week, you can on Epic Games you can get Surviving the Aftermath, which is a really fun city builder where the world is out to get you. It's like a post apocalyptic world, and I gave it a try, and then I think 30 minutes in, it was like, oh yeah, now that like I was struggling, like I just built my first well, and like yeah, we have a little bit of water now, nice. And then it was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a drought for the next month. So there's gonna be like heat waves, and everyone got
Man.
sick, and the well dried out, and everyone died.
You know what I would like to see, and maybe they've got one and it just passed me by and I missed it, but I would love to see ActRaiser remade.
Oh, wow. You're
'cause
going way back.
Yeah. But that was a game where you were kind of a god. It was a city builder, plus it was a side
That's cool.
scroller. It was really cool.
Good music, too.
Yeah. It was really ahead of its time, I think. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see some more ActRaiser, man. I certainly
Yeah,
would.
that would be cool. But yeah, I think we've covered all the news that I had found, and all the news that that everyone else had found as well. So, well done, guys. Thank you so much for indulging me with this. And yeah, anyone want to add anything before we go around the table and see what everyone's up to? Right, let's start with you then, Matthias. What's cooking over at your place?
I haven't been playing that much lately. and trying to finish a few videos. Like I said, I've had a break to like Ninja. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish them soon, and I'm getting some new stuff from JSaw that I'm gonna do a video on. So I'm taking it slow.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, click subscribe and hit the bell, and then you'll see whenever Matthias posts next time. And then you don't need to worry about any schedule. That's awesome. Kind of like how I do it. I just upload whenever I have something done, and then whenever that is when it is. Netflix gamer, what's happening over at your place? What's cooking?
Well, at my place, Ace, what I've got to do, what I'm going to do now is obviously it's like 11 o'clock nearly where I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now try and get all the news I can covered for Netflix games for my channel, and then obviously start on writing the articles for Cloud Dosage News so they can be published early in the morning. That's what my plan is basically. But yeah, that's what are you up to?
Yeah, well, we'll get to me later. Ray, what about you? What's cooking?
Man, I'm Marvel Snap has a new season. Of course, you know the movie Marvels ain't doing too great out from the
It
reviews.
isn't. I've heard good
Reviews,
things about it, and and it looks like the trailers looks good.
I'm still
But,
going.
but
I'm gonna still go. I'm gonna still go. But yeah, don't ever listen to reviews.
I'm
Just
confused because that's supposed to
experience
come out
it
till
yourself.
tomorrow.
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's like people who has seen it, the pre-screening basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
only heard good things,
But the Marvel
Okay.
Snap game, this I'm doing the new season. I've already paid for the Game Pass. Yes, I'm a sucker, and I got my Miss Marvel card. She's actually pretty good,
Hey, Ray,
and
it's okay to support something financially that you really like. It's
Mhm.
okay.
hey,
yeah.
you know it is
That
what it
card
is.
game was well built, man. You have to admit it. I think it is. I think it's very
I
well
mean,
built.
I guess it could also like I had a friend who saw it as like if he got 1 hour of enjoyment out of something for every dollar he spent on it, then it was a good investment. And if he then went on to spend 200 hours in it, he was happy to pay up to $200 for stuff in that game to support it. If there was anything he wanted, and I mean, if someone releases a battle pass for a game that I've spent 50 hours in and it costs like $20, and yeah, I mean, it's reasonable to pick it up.
Thank you.
But yeah, but I mean, if you spend like 5 hours in it, and then yeah, don't pick up a battle pass. That's just wasting money at that point.
Yeah, and I just wanted to thank great panel, and it was I went to netflixx.com and followed him. I'm gonna check out his content because that's something I do really want to get into is Netflix gaming because I do have Netflix, and I do like their shows and the game, so I'll go check it out. So thank you.
Awesome. Ninja, so you mentioned you have started occasional streaming, so I
Yeah,
guess
and I do have
anything
one.
you do have something planned. Oh,
I got something planned. So, have you guys heard of the game Headbangers?
yeah,
Rhythm Royale.
been
Well,
meaning to check it out. It looks so
well,
Oh
fun.
yeah, I've been watching streams of that.
very nice. Well, I've snagged an interview with the main developer of the game, and this
Ooh,
Monday,
Nice.
I'll do an official announcement. I haven't done it yet, but this Monday I have an interview with Charles Bourdin, I think he's called, and really looking forward to that. It's going to be the biggest game I've interviewed, so yeah,
Wow.
very excited.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and speaking planning stuff, you and I should sit down and see if we can get a new
Hear me
date.
out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
need
We,
to
we
figure
didn't.
it
Yeah, we didn't do one in October because Purple was too busy with work. Hopefully, she has a little bit less going on, and we can find some time to sit down and do it. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I have
I
some
already know
music.
what I want to put in there. I already have my song picked up.
I think I had decided that I think I've changed my opinion of
Oh
what
no,
I want to show like 10 times already, and I don't now I'm at a point like I don't know anymore. I'll just do whatever I feel like on the day.
the
'Cause it's
struggle.
too much to show you. Yeah. And SPG, how about you? Anything planned?
Ah,
Anything cooking?
well, yeah. Actually, I've been playing Death Stranding for the first time, the director's cut, and I have to say that for the PS4 era, my God, is that game beautiful,
It is.
and
Yeah.
and it's well optimized. Like it's Okay, it's a divisive game because some people don't like a walking simulator, but
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it. But on Friday, tomorrow, we're going to be doing a community game over on my channel. If you wanna, if you like Among Us or you're interested in horror games, we're either going to be playing Among Us and airlocking Ray off the station, or we're going to be playing Deceit, where up to 9 people can join in. There's a demo for free that you can join in and play, but up to 9 people can play, and 2 people are infected that can turn into monsters. So it's very similar to Among Us, to where you have to go do tasks and whatnot. But 2 people can turn into monsters. And shout out to Pika for buying me the game Raven Anime. It's been a lot of fun playing that. So we're getting into something on Friday, some kind of community game.
Nice. Reaver, what's happening over at your place?
Not much. Just been uploading just videos of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Hoping to stream some BG3 on Saturday with SPG and Ray. Yep, and the streams of Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well. But unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to get a Mirage though because money's tight over here right now.
I'm on a site all over the place. I hear.
Yeah.
Here included. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I should get back into Mirage. Mirage was fun. On my end, I think I do want to sit down. I didn't have a lot of time this week. Hopefully, I'll have some time slot next week to spend a lunch break playing City Skylines and recording that and just uploading part 2 of my City Skylines build, because it's a lot of fun to do, and I do enjoy having something a bit more low effort to do to create.
It's my kind of content.
Yeah, because I mean, at the same time, I am.
Low effort.
I mean, Neil is pointing out, like, hey, asking how my BG3 review is going. I mean, it's basically the same place as it was last week. I have written the script, I have recorded the script, and I have not done a single thing of editing so far. I need to sit down and properly start editing that. Because it's gonna be, it's already 16 and a half minutes, and I know I want to edit in some breaks in my in my recording.
I want to do a panel discussion on that game when everyone's done with it. I think that would be amazing. Everyone's going to have a slightly different experience. Everyone will.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even need to be done with it to join that. I'm fine with spoilers, guys.
Me neither. I'm fine with spoilers too. I'll be down for that.
I just have to say this. I just saw this on Game Pass, and this made me so happy. I see that Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, is available.
Oh right, yeah.
So if
Very
you
nice.
like it, yeah, Yakuza or Judgment, check it out. This is best news ever. I'm so happy to see it, because I couldn't play it because I can't afford it. So this is amazing.
Yeah, day 1 Game Pass, I think it was. So
Yeah.
enjoy, mate. You said you hadn't played much lately. Now I think you know what you're gonna play next then.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, and I think other than that, I mean, Dragonbane on Tuesday, we had a blast last time, doing a exclusive adventure.
Orla reached out her healing hands and helped the Wolfkin.
No. Ray specifically said that Orla grabbed him by the balls.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be politically correct, but yeah, she cupped
Fuck
the balls. She cupped the balls and brought him back to life. It was amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Good job, Ray.
You don't remember
Yeah.
that?
Damn.
Remember that.
That definitely
Yeah,
happened.
we were playing this adventure, which is an exclusive adventure only available to those of us who attended the Dragonbane event that Free League had a
And
couple of weeks ago.
for all of you,
And it was a lot of fun, right?
for all of you people that might be what do you call it, intimidated by D&D and all the rules and the dice, go try it. You don't have to dress like a wizard, do a weird voice, and talk like somebody you're not. You don't have to do any of that, but it is so much fun to think on the fly and like try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and figure out what to do. It's so much fun. I think most people would absolutely love it if they gave it a chance.
Yeah, and also like D&D is quite rule heavy, which is why it works so great in a video game form. Whereas something like Dragonbane is like that rulebook. It's the rulebook, including like a bestiary and tables for like the stats of different weapons, including all of that. It's like 150 pages. Like the rules itself that you need to learn is like 50 pages, and it's quite easy to get into, and it's really good. And it has what is it, like 40 years of content behind it, because it's been out for 40 years here in Sweden. So
Well,
there
it's
will be
really fun, and they did a
lot of things.
fantastic
Yeah.
job of forcing interaction. Because you want to upgrade your stats, and well, the only way to do that is to do cool feats or interact with the story in certain ways. I just think the rewards for playing
And I also love-
Dragonbane is really cool.
Yeah, and I also love how lethal it is. I mean, as you noticed
Yeah,
in
that's
the last
true.
session, we had a like the one like it was a ghost that just decided to do you know one of its 6 random attacks dealt damage, and 2 out of 3 characters went down immediately.
I critted though, so you know.
Yeah, you saved the day there, but I mean, it was like, oh yeah, and they deals 11 points of damage to both of you. Like, oh yeah, we're down.
Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Everybody
Yeah,
should
it's
give
a lot of fun.
role playing a chance because it's
Definitely. Even I mean, either find a group to play around the table because it's awesome. But if you can't find a group around the table, online is just as fun.
And the biggest tip that I can give you is that when you're playing for the first time, build a character that's so similar to yourself that you're playing you, because it's easy to play you. You're you. So
Yeah.
start there, and then you know what I'm saying. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's fun. It's fun.
And Neil, 50 pages of rules. I mean, you don't need to learn all the rules. It's just like, oh, how do you do this again? You flip through those 50 pages, and oh, it's that like one section, and like, oh, that's how it works. So it's
It
never.
can get super complicated with D&D when you're doing a roll, and then you got to do your pluses, your minuses, and all that. It can be daunting, but
Whereas
but if
this
you
is
have-
just a lot more simple.
yeah.
You
And if
lose
you
all
have a
that.
good DM anyway, even if you get confused, it doesn't matter because the story keeps rolling and they help you. So
Yeah. At the end of the day, playing tabletop RPGs is it's about collective storytelling, and that's all all there is. Like the rules are there to
Yeah.
guide you along; they're not there to hinder you.
Being a DM, if you know the rules, isn't hard because it's just you're telling a story and people are interacting with said story and changing it as you go. That's it. I mean, it's really that simple.
Yeah. And sometimes you prep a lot of things so that and the players are like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
yeah.
which is also part of the fun, like part of the freedom. You can never get as free as you do in a tabletop RPG session. And with that,
Because
I'm
it's
gonna
your
roll.
imagination.
Exactly. And with that, we're gonna roll the outro.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.